Hello, everybody. It's a beautiful day here on Prince Edward Island. We're still recovering from Hurricane Fiona, but anyway, back to regular programming. Recently, I was contacted by a company in Australia, and they asked me if I would like to take a look at some of their products. I'm not being paid for this review, but they did kindly send me along a couple of their notebooks to look at. So it's the company's name is LeStallion. Their motto, I guess, is ungelded for success. Uh, so it's a company, I believe it's existed for 3 years. It's located in Australia. Um, they have several different colors of notebooks. So the ones that I chose were ash gray and desert brown. So we're going to take a look at them. Now, once again, these were sent to me kindly by the company. Haven't been paid other than receiving these. And I love, this is a fountain pen channel, but I really do love notebooks and stationery and things like that. First thing that I notice is they come in a nice slip case. I like that, actually. There's a little cutout here so you can reach in and grab the book. It's just a, simple cardboard, nice logo. On the back, there is just some information about the notebook. It's an A5 notebook, soft textured cover, brown page edges, 120 grams square meter thick paper. I'm not too sure what color, what the brand of paper is. It's an ivory colored paper. It has a built-in table of contents, numbered pages, ribbon, bookmark, back pocket, and it laying flat. Four sheets thread binding. So this one is at ash gray, and the other one is, of course, desert brown. Pull them out of the slipcases, and you're presented with, like I said, an A5 notebook. It's a faux faux leather case or a cover, I should say. Feels very nice. I'm not too sure precisely what it's made of. There's an embossed logo on the lower right-hand corner of the front cover. That's quite nice detail. They're a nice size notebook I like how the end pages are along here are colored brown. That's quite nice. That's a nice little touch. I have certain things I like in notebooks, and one of the things I do like is numbered pages. I like a table of contents, but especially I like, and they have it. They have a little envelope at the back, an accordion style note envelope folder where you can put, cards or photos or little mementos. And that's one of the things I really, really look for in a notebook. And they have that. And it's quite nicely made. It's a heavy cardstock by the feel of it. End pages are nicely made. I like these end sheets. So you open it up, and there's a nice area here where you could put your name and information, and the dates that you ran your journal from. That's a nice touch. So they have a nice table of contents. I like that. Actually, I like that it's a large letter, a font size. That's, oh my gosh, my eyes are getting so funny sometimes. And there's these, I guess these could almost be considered prompts right here. Are you still progressing, moving toward your dream? Don't forget your bright future, still patiently awaits. It's kind of a poem. You could almost use that as a stay the course, rewrite down all your goals, mounted on the quest, and sit tall in the saddle. These are sort of a inspirational poem, maybe like journaling prompts you could use these again for, and like that. So this is a dotted page, or actually, this is a lined page. But when you look at it, there's little breaks in the line, which is kind of interesting. So it's not a solid line. I haven't actually come across that as far as I know before. I don't really get a lot of lined journals. I prefer dotted matrix. But I like that, actually. It kind of softens the line. I'm kind of surprised by that. That's nice. I like that. And as I said, there's lots of room for table of contents. So you start off with page 1 and it runs to page 211. So that's, if you write an entry a day, this thing will last you 211 days. Or if you write several pages, it could last you, 3 to 4 months or less. You could write a book. There's a nice little ribbon here for marking your page, and there's a weighted metal tag at here. Nicely bound threading. It seems to lay flat fairly well. I like that. What else can I say? That's the lined one. And then this is the dotted matrix. Quite typical of all dotted matrix notebooks, but it looks nice. I like how the pages are, it's a nice warm off-white, almost cream color, yellow, sort of an ivory color. What do they say? Yeah, they call it an ivory colored paper. Wood-free. That's the other thing they say there. I wonder, so wood-free, that could be, made of almost any type of material. But that's nice to know. So once again, you have the envelope at the back. And I like that color. So this is the ash gray and this is the desert brown. And I'm going to do a couple little things. I actually had, at the back here, done a quick little writing sample. And I just want to see how it felt. And, I'm looking for fountain pen friendly paper. So I'm going to use a couple different pens. I had already written once on it just when I got it, and it seemed to work quite well. This is a very extra fine, hard nib. So quick brown box jumps over the lazy dog. Then go through. It's a nice heavyweight paper. Doesn't seem to be feathering or anything like that. Well-behaved paper so far for fountain pens, which is a must, I say. And this is a wetter pen than the Sailor that I was just using, right? And once again, it's behaving very nicely. Not feathering. Dries very nicely. Doesn't come through. Excellent. That's good. So using a medium nib pen that is fairly wet, my vintage Aurora 88P, and a fine pen, my Sailor Progress, an extra fine actually, Sailor Pro Gear, with different inks, of course. It didn't seem to bleed. It behaved very well. I'm going to try something. I'm going to take a very not ill-behaved ink, but an ink that takes a long time to dry. And that is, of course, Apache Sunset by Noodlers. I had this inked up in a vintage Eclipse pen, and it almost felt like it wasn't going to dry at all on the page. So I'm just going to do an ink blot and see how quickly that dries. Mostly because, it literally doesn't dry. And we'll see how that works. Looks like it's drying. I had used the Apache Sunset in a very nice notebook. It was a nice notebook, Midori, and Apache Sunset was the only ink on it that didn't dry. It did dry eventually. It took a surprising amount of time. And looking at it, it's still quite wet right here within a few seconds. Not like that was Actually, that's behaving very well. It's not, there's a little bit of bleed through, but that's being put down um, with a uh, Q-tip. And I have used that other notebooks and it's gone straight through on other notebooks sometimes. So it's actually, I'm going to say that's behaving quite well. You can see a little bit of bleed through, and that was a heavy wet ink. Well, it's still wet, and that does not surprise me. But actually, it's soaking in nicely. It's drying. It's not sitting on the surface of the paper. It seems to be absorbing. Uh, I had a on my Midori. It just seemed to sit on the surface of the ink of the paper, and it really, all my other pens worked fine, but all my other inks worked fine. The Apache's Noodler's Apache Sunset is famous for taking a long time to dry, and that's dry now pretty much. So that's actually decent. So anyway, there you have it. Thanks to LeStallion .com for sending me the notebooks to look at, and I really look forward to doing some writing in them. I'm going to keep this brown one. I think my partner Jane would love this one. She's a writer and a poet, and writes more than I do. And that's a very lovely color, and I think she'll enjoy that. Anyway, thank you to LeStallion for sending these along for me to look at, and I always enjoy notebooks. I'll be getting more notebooks, of course. I'll be doing more reviews. Trying to get things back to normal around here. Very tired after Hurricane Fiona. Lots of cleanups to do. Our yard's pretty good right now. The neighborhood is coming back together. There's still a lot of wreckage from trees that are down, and still a lot of trees that have to be taken down because they're heavily damaged. But things are getting slowly back to normal. Anyway, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new around here, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. I'm always looking at new products and trying to have fun. So anyway, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.